Morning, friends. I am seed starting Tuesday. It's like my first Tuesday I actually got to seed start. So I've done all of my soil blocking, but I still have to do my weekly sunflowers. The biggest cash cow I have on my farm is sunflowers. So if you want to really start and start small, I would highly recommend doing Pro-Cut sunflowers. They're pollenless, so you don't have to worry about having pollen dropping all over. People absolutely love them. People love sunflowers. You can sell them in bunches. You can put them in bouquets. You can do anything with sunflowers. So sunflowers are a once cut and they're done, and then you got to flip the bed. But you've got to constantly have a good supply coming. And so what you do to keep the supply coming all season is every single week you're going to sow some sunflowers. And I do it in trays. Some people put them right out in the field, but I have all kinds of little animals and things that like to pull the little seedlings up. I like to get them established a little bit under some lights. I feel like that kind of strengthens them up a little bit and gets them ready. And then we have a specialty kind of like a hoe or a well maker that my boys and we use. My older son made it for me out of some scrap metal, and it makes 6 rows, and then we just drop the seedlings down and cover them over and we're good to go. But this morning, this video is on what actually the sunflowers I pick and how I put them in my trays. So my first one, because it is spring, we have these Johnny Seeds Pro-Cut White Light and White Night. They have either a kind of gold light center with the light, or the night one has a dark center. The petals are really light, and that is kind of a nice set off for spring bouquets, to have a lighter sunflower, not so much the oranges or the reds that come maybe later in the season. So I will sow half a tray each, so about 60 in this one tray here. Then the one thing that I really like, these are cute. I got turned on to those by Lisa Mason Ziegler, and they are the Sunfill ones. They're tiny little sunflowers that look like succulents before they open up, and they're a great filler in bouquets. So those are going to be seeded the exact same way on this tray down here. I have a tray right here, and this one's going to be split between the purple and the green. So the green's going to be very, very green, but then the petals will have a hint of purple. Excuse us, we're out in the greenhouse here, and we live off a main road, and we have emergency vehicle traffic all the time. Then the last ones that we have that I really like, I did some lemon in the fall last year, but I definitely liked it enough to do it in the spring. Some Pro-Cut lemon, and then this year we're going to try some Pro-Cut peach. I have not done Pro-Cut peach before, but we're going to try it. And then I have some other stuff over here. I've got some gold that I have in a little jar right here that we're going to put, and we're going to split. I've got 2 more. I don't know if you can see them right here. 2 more trays, and we're going to split each of these in half. Now, as the season was to go on, I would probably phase out the white night and white light, because the lighter colors the bugs just love. And that's when I'm going to switch over to like a bicolor red this year. Our reds last year were really head droopy, so I'm going to try a different variety, and we're going to try some Vincent's Choice. I did 1 packet of those last year, and I did kind of like them. They have a variety of colors, so I'm going to have 2 trays come probably end of April that it will be completely dedicated to Pro-Cut Orange, which are your traditional sunflowers that you see. And then I will mix some of those other colors up just so I have a variety, and I will continue to do a half a tray of each of the Sunfill. That's what I did last year. So that's what we're doing here this morning. And what I usually do is I keep these in the refrigerator till the day that I'm going to come out and get these sunflowers ready. I usually just start out with just pushing my speed as fast as I can go to try to just drop these into each cell. I like speed because it costs me money when I'm not moving quickly. If I get 2 on a tray or a cell tray, I don't care. I just push them around a little bit. Like I said, I like to get them in as fast as I can go. And this, I feel like, gets them a good start so that I do not have to worry about bugs getting them right off the bat, especially crows. My gosh, crows love to pull out things like corn, any kind of little seedlings, and this kind of just gives me a head start I think they're stronger. I think they come quicker. And that's how I do it. So then my extras, I'll just toss back in here for now. And I'm going to do all of my sunflowers in tray holes before I go through, and then I will go through and I'll push them all down, move the dirt around, and then I will water them, and then I will actually right now take them in the house because this is not sunflower season. It's kind of cold. Apologies again. We have somebody that needs some serious prayer. Sounds like a possible ambulance. And I would hope that the Lord would be with the EMS workers and the person that needs help, and that they are able to get through with not being obstructed. Alright, and then again, we will do the green, and I don't even stop to put these in, because all I'm doing is this job right now, and this job is just dropping the seeds as quick as I can. And I know just about where the half tray is at this point, that I don't even have to count them anymore. And if I have 2 in a spot, I don't panic. I'm like, more sunflowers aren't going to hurt anything. I would say your investment on sunflowers, these big bags, I want to say are like $35. And then you got to pay shipping and handling. I try really hard to like bulk my orders so that I do not have to pay shipping. I will get free shipping from Johnny's if I get a $200 order. And of course, I'm doing enough flowers that if I'm smart enough to do the order out to one time, I want to try next year. I had to do like my seeds this year were like I did like my flowers first, but then I went through and did my vegetable garden, and I still had a lot of seeds, so that worked out okay. I was able to get the free shipping, but I think I added a netting or something into it to bring it up with the groceries. But yeah, I make a list and think about where you're going to put your seeds. Do you have a bed available? Like a lot of times we go grocery shopping and we don't think about the menu plan of what we're going to eat. You know, we're just like, oh, that looks good. Or I might have a couple things on a list for 1 or 2 meals. But I'm telling you, if you can get yourself a list ahead of time, then often that just takes care of the overspending. You know where you're going to put things. You're going to be organized. You're going to make sure that this all works out so that you have what you need. You don't have too much. You can put things right away into beds. There's not a chaos of like, oh, what do I do here? Oh, what do I do there? You just get it done. And like I said, it's just as quick as I can do it. I'm not really seasoned yet. I'm telling you, by the end of the season, I go way faster than this. I'm like, but right now, it's beginning of season and I'm kind of just starting out again, getting the speed going. The thing about making money on a farm is accuracy and speed and quality. You know, it's funny, my boys were like, well, you know, if we work all day, we'll make more money. And I'm like, well, if you go to a regular factory job, that might be correct when you're getting paid by the hour. But I go, if you're technically doing flowers, you are not going to make money going and working all day. You're going to make money by making quality in the fastest amount of time possible. That's just the way it is. Unfortunately, we just, as farmers, do not get paid by the hour. We get paid by production. And years ago, people understood production. I remember my very first real like outdoor job wasn't a cashier job. I worked taking shirts off of a belt at a Champion in Perry, New York, years ago, having to take those things off and box things up. And the faster you could go, the better it was. But you had to move. I mean, you had to move, because if you didn't get it done, you were docked. You had to be doing things based on your speed. So I understand that as this works out for farming. And that's what you need to do. You need to learn how to do it quicker, faster, more efficient all the time. Always. That's the only way to really make any money doing this. Oh, I'm spilling some. That's not what I wanted. That's just waste now. But I like what I do. I like that I can be home. My husband officially does the homeschooling with the boys now. I don't do too much. I oversee it and I double check things to make sure things are getting done, and what needs to be covered. But he actually does the lessons with the boys. If they have a question that he isn't sure of, they will come out and get me. But usually he tries very, very hard, knowing how much I've got to get done in a small amount of time. And he will handle that all. Now I still do a lot of my meals. It's still hard for him to get to that. So that's more than I wanted. He still needs some help being able to do meals. He does try to have the boys get stuff moving for me. But that's kind of how we run our farm here. Just we have to work together with the things that he can do, and the boys are very helpful getting things around and doing things helpful too. You'll see Ivan, he's done. He's had his reading. He has speech on Tuesday morning, so he's got that done. When I went to grab more seeds, I know he was doing math with my husband. And I'm really thankful we've come up with a decent idea of a system. We're still working out the quirks. Like I said, trying to get things done around here. So, quick, I just go through and I just try to like push these seeds in, trying to get everything pushed down in, make sure each one has a hole. Sunflowers like to be buried, so sometimes I do have to go back through and shift the dirt. And this is our seed starting. This is what we do. And I will just continue to go through and finish the lot up, making sure we get them all into the dirt. But I thank you, friends, for watching and listening to what we do here. And I hope you guys have a good afternoon.